takes people years to become a manager and to attain that position. But here someone is saying that you can do something within 1 minute which can impact your life. Now, I read this book in around 2003, 2004, and I have been a big fan of this book. Reason being that all the three tips that are given in this book, I use them every day in my life, not only with people at work, but people in my actual life. So, the 1 Minute Manager is actually a storybook, but it also gives you leadership lessons. So, it is a conversation between an employee and a manager, and they do converse about what are the different tips, how can you become a great manager, how can you become a great leader. Now, there are a lot of debates which happen where we say that leaders are born or leaders are made, managers are born or managers are made. And are leaders and managers different, or are they same? There can be lots and lots of discussion that can carry on with this. And I, in my training sessions, do talk about a lot. We define management, we define leadership, we find the similarities, we find the differences. And at the end, we find that there is one similarity between being a leader and being a manager, is that one vision with which you keep going towards what you want to achieve. Because your vision, the company's vision, and the team's vision has to be aligned. And that's what we will discover. So please allow me to actually take you through the actual learnings, because I keep taking my notes. Now that you've watched 5 of my YouTube videos, you know that I love to take my notes. So let's understand how this book actually breaks down the leadership into 3 core practices, which are about a minute. A minute is not much, 60 seconds, which is 1 minute. And that is a lot of time to make a difference at management, at leadership. 1 minute goals. So let's talk about the first one. You need to set clear, simple goals and review them regularly. So the moment you start your day, and you're there at work with your team, what are those 1 minute goals that you set for your team and for yourself? It doesn't take a long time to write down the goals that you want to set for the day. Each goal should not take more than 250 words. Yes, you hear me right. So each goal that you set, when you start to write down, shouldn't take more than 250 words. You progress in under a minute and align on what and why, what you're going to do and why you're going to do it. So let me give you some real life examples, and these will help you to relate with the 1 minute goals. A team leader sits with a new member on day 1 and defines their 3 top priorities in writing. So we all have new joiners who come at work, right? The moment the new joiner is there, they've completed their orientation, their induction, and now they are there in the department or at the work floor or at the customer service department, wherever the new joiner has joined, and that's your first day. You're going to sit with them as a team leader and you define their top 3 priorities in writing. Priority number 1, I'm going to learn customer service. Priority number 2, I'm going to understand the company culture. Priority number 3, I'm going to have a lunch with my team manager. So that way you're going to define the goals. Now, I'm sure many of you are also parents. How do you set 1 minute goal as a parent? A parent can set a 1 minute daily habit with the child. Today's focus, listening to others speak without interrupting. So you want to teach your children on how to listen? That could be the 1 minute goal. You will listen out to others and you will not interrupt them. And it's very easy when you set these 1 minute goals. Now, in my current work profile, I do a lot of freelance work. And with freelance work also comes sometimes different ways of managing your time. You might not know, you have a request from a client from this side, you have a request from here, and sometimes your calendars can clash with each other. So what do? A freelancer can set 3 goals with one client, deliver on time, communicate midweek, and send invoice by the end of the month. So you know that here I'm doing 1, 2, 3. and this is what I'm going to deliver on these dates. 1 minute goal for that particular day. Done. People don't fail because they can't perform. They fail because they don't know what is expected of them. A lot of people in organizations don't fail because they can't perform. They fail because the expectations are not made clear by the leaders, by the managers. The expectations are not set clear. Relationships again don't fail because people are not there with each other. Relationships fail because the expectations are not set clear. And that's what we need to understand. When you set the expectation, when you set the goals clear, in under 1 minute, off you go, you know now what to do. Yeah. So that's your first one. I think I'm going good. Let me tell you, and let me my goal today before I started recording this was that I am going to give my camera person the recording of this video in one sitting. That was my 1 minute goal that gave it to myself. And I think I'm doing very good. My camera person, am I doing good?
Yes.
Lovely. I love that. So that was my 1 minute goal. Now let's understand the second category, which is 1 minute praisings. And here I'll ask you this one question. How often do you appreciate and praise people for the things that they do right? Or do you actually go around finding faults in people and finding mistakes and finding errors in whatever work that people do? And that's very, very, very important. Why is this very important for me? Because when I started my career, and not many of you know, I started my career as a restaurant waiter. And I used to go around waiting on tables, serving food and drinks and beverages on the tables to my guests. I worked in a boutique hotel and in few 5-star hotels as a waiter. And I met two different kinds of leaders, two different kinds of managers I worked with. One set of managers that I worked with would come around and look for the faults in whatever wrong have I done, and then would reprimand me and say that, hey, you've not done this right, you need to do this right. And then the another set of managers that I met would actually come around, look at things that I've done right, and then appreciate me. Hey, you've done this very, very nice, very good. This is not how it has to be done. This particular thing is a wrong thing, so I want you to correct it. So there was praising and then there was feedback also. And that's what I will ask you. When you go around, either at work or at home or with friends, do you go around looking for faults in everything? Faults in people, faults in situations, faults in that the work that they've done? Or do you also take equal efforts to appreciate people and praise them for what they're doing very well? Today, did you praise anybody for something that they would have done very well? So, the second category which is there in the book is 1 minute praisings. Now, what is 1 minute praisings? And here Ken Blanchard uses a very, very nice phrase. Do hear it very nicely, very attentively. Catch people doing something right and praise them immediately. Catch people doing something right and praise them immediately. Do not wait for another moment to praise them. If you see something right now, praise them right now. If you are right now sitting at home and watching this video, and if you have a family member of yours in the kitchen cooking some nice food for you, go and praise them right now. They're cooking for you. If you have a family member who has just come home after a day's tiring work, appreciate them for all the efforts that they are doing for you. If you're watching this video right now and if you are sitting in your office, appreciate your colleague for all the efforts that they're doing. Appreciate people. That is very, very important. Now, how do we appreciate? This is also very important. I can say, hey, you good. The moment I say you good, it's such a generic one. The other person like, yeah, I know I'm good. But why are you good? Oh, I would really want to appreciate you because the kind of efforts that you put in completing this project, and I'm seeing that you are ensuring there is no errors in this project, and you are ensuring that every team member is aligned with this project, I really like that quality about you. Now the person knows what exactly you're liking in the person and you're appreciating them about. So be specific with your praise. Share how their action impacts the team. If someone is doing something great at work, it definitely is impacting the entire team. And when the entire team is impacted, the entire organization is impacted. And in a similar way, when you do something for the family, the entire family is impacted, and then everybody's life is impacted. Reinforce positive behavior. The moment I see somebody doing a report diligently at work and putting in all the focus that is required to complete that report without any errors and to submit that report on the particular deadline, and you see that every deadline that is happening, I really appreciate, Zainab, that you are submitting this report every month on this particular day. I really love it. Thank you so much for doing it. And I really appreciate for you to keep doing it. So reinforce the behavior. Now I've put across some examples for you to understand how you can do it. A manager notices an intern take initiative and sends a quick message. Great job jumping in with that idea. You helped the team move faster. Okay. If there's a coach and there's a team member, and the coach sees a quiet team member help clean up the entire studio, entire gym, that small act of responsibility speaks volumes. Great job. You helped clean the studio for my next gym class. Thank you so much. Yeah. A friend can praise someone for setting a boundary. I admire how clear you were with that, and you have actually grown with that. Perfect. Appreciation. It really, really goes a long way. When people feel seen, they show up stronger. And people will feel seen when there are praisings, when they are appreciated. Now there's one more thing. When you want to appreciate, it's okay to appreciate in private, but it's all the more great to appreciate in public. How would you feel if I invite you now on a stage and I talk great things about you, I appreciate you, and the whole world listens? You would feel very nice. You would feel very great. Yeah, I know some of you would also feel embarrassed like me. Okay, I don't know what to say. I don't know how to say thank you. Oh, I'm feeling a bit embarrassed. I don't know how to deal with this because now all the eyes are on me. The entire spotlight is on me. Now everybody's looking at me. Oh, I'm doing great. Yeah. It's okay to take that feedback in public. Learn to take that appreciation in public. It's okay. Feel good about it. So, appreciation in public. And let's come to the next one. When we want to rebuke someone, when you want to redirect someone or reprimand someone, that has to be in private. Will I like being called out in front of 100 people? Jaswin, you didn't do this. I wouldn't like it, because then I would say, hey, you telling all of this, if you want to say it to me in private. Why are you telling the other people also about it? But nobody will mind an appreciation in public. So appreciation in public, reprimand in private. The third one, 1 minute redirects. Formerly it was known as reprimands. Now there was a new edition done to the book. In the old edition, which I had read, it was reprimands. And then when the vocabulary changed and when mindsets changed, reprimand has become redirection. Okay? So, you don't wait to correct the behavior. Do it kind and immediately. So, if something is not right here at work right now, if I do not like this particular setup in the studio, then I will not wait for another moment to get this corrected. I will say it immediately. Hey, I don't like this. Maybe we can try another way. And then kindly. I have seen many managers in my own experience, and I have worked with such managers who have actually, while reprimanding, while redirecting, have shouted at the top of their lungs. I still remember, and there was one company, I will not name the company that I worked with. It was just for a few months that I worked with that company. And my line manager, she gave me a call. And the moment I said, hello, hi, yeah, I'm reaching, I'll be there in another 10 minutes. And she did not regard that, yes, I'm reaching there in 10 minutes and then we can have a chat, we can have a conversation or whatever she wanted to say. She started yelling on the phone. And she was sitting in the office, that means there were other office colleagues also listening to it. And she was yelling so much that her voice started hurting my ears. And her voice was so much through the phone that I had to actually keep the phone this far from my ear so that my ears don't hurt. And right now I can actually still feel her voice hurting my ears as I'm actually recollecting that particular incident. And then I've also worked with great leaders and great managers, and I still regard them and I'm still in touch with them, because if I made a mistake, they knew how to correct me, and I really appreciated the way they corrected me on my mistakes and on my errors. And today I'm still in touch with those managers. I still take their guidance on mistakes. And that manager who was yelling, I just left the company and I did give the reason that I'm leaving because of this behavior. I will not take this behavior. It's very important for leaders to understand what kind of projection are we giving to our teams. What kind of projection are we talking about that will actually leave an impression on the teams. And now leadership is such a broad subject, it's such a vast subject that I can't even complete in this one small video, because you're talking about the 1 minute manager. Managerial work and leadership is not very different, it's very similar. There are few differences, but it's a similar work that we all do. And hence, because this topic is something which I keep teaching in and out daily to a lot of managers and a lot of people, and I coach a lot of CEOs, so I know how leadership comes about. So 1 minute redirection. How do we set that the way I give the feedback is kind, immediate, and I don't wait for it? It's very important to separate the person from the behavior. Many times when we want to reprimand someone and when we want to redirect someone, we actually talk on personalities and person rather than the behavior. And then we start to discriminate based, or we have those biases in our head. And biases is a good topic. Maybe I can do a video next time on biases. We all come with preconceived opinions and preconceived notions and those biases in our mind. And with those biases, when we actually reprimand somebody, we tend to think that this person is that way. So if a person has made one particular error, and then we might say, oh, you always make errors. So we generalize that you are always making errors. And then we think that this person will always make errors. So the entire thing of making errors could be a behavioral issue. Maybe the person is not able to focus. Maybe the person is not able to manage their time and hence the errors are happening. There could be various different reasons, and you need to get to those reasons rather than doing a blanket statement. You're always doing errors. So the moment I say you're always doing errors, I'm actually impacting on their personality, on their behavior, on their person. It's very important to be very specific and brief. So, Zainab, we've done this particular setup here. I would appreciate if the table is a bit far, a bit away, so that, and the cup also is not needed here, I might drop it. Very specific, very kind, and that's how you can be very brief. End with reassurance of belief in them. Zainab, I'm seeing you do lovely work. I have full confidence in you. So next time when we are doing a studio setup, I know you will do this. Thank you. So you reassurance that you believe in them. And this belief in people is the most important thing that a manager has to give it to the team. That you believe in their abilities, you believe in their capabilities, you believe in them taking on board what you're saying. Now I put across some examples here as well of how can we give redirection. A colleague misses a deadline. The team lead can quickly say, "This delay created a bottleneck. Let's fix it and plan better next time. I know you can." Very simple, very specific, very kind. Done. Khalas. Next one. A student arrives late. The teacher says, "Punctuality matters. Let's recommit tomorrow." Now you cannot do anything. What has happened? The student has already come late. What you can do is reassure for tomorrow. A friend speaks over someone in a group. And then you gently say, "Let's give space to everyone I know. You didn't mean to cut them off." Correction works best when it comes from care and not criticism. Many times leaders and managers make the mistake of criticism and not correcting with care. The moment you correct with care, it will be taken in a very positive way. We don't need criticism. I know some of you would want to debate, we need criticism. That's a different video coming for you. So, ladies and gentlemen, 3 takeaways from this book, The 1 Minute Manager. Clarity builds confidence, and clarity comes with 1 minute goals. Praise often, correct kindly. So, catch people doing right things, appreciate in public. Leadership is less about control and more about conversation. Have those great conversations with your team. Do not try to control your team. Leadership is not just about being the boss. It is about being the bridge between the chaos and clarity. And the leader is actually building that bridge. And the leader themselves need to have the clarity in their head. If they themselves don't have the clarity, how will they build the bridge? So, from chaos to clarity, and that's where the bridge clarity, oh my God, what's happening? The bridge is built. And then you have those 3 different 1 minute goals that you set. This book actually proves that big leadership doesn't need big lectures. The moment you go to your work, connect with your team, 1 minute goals, 1 minute appreciation, 1 minute redirection, that's all that you want. And sometimes it's an intentional 1 minute. Remember intentional living? John Maxwell? Haven't watched my video? Go and watch right now. Intentions matter. The intentional 1 minute, the intention of spending that 1 minute for setting goals, for appreciation, and for redirection. Very, very important. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I have summed up the book, The 1 Minute Manager, for you all. Did you like it? I'm sure you did. Subscribe, share, do share your comments. How did you feel about listening to this? And do share your experiences from your leadership and from your management experience.
1 goal, 1 record, 1 shot, done. Perfect.
Oh my God, that's my camera person. Thank you so much. I love this, Zara. Love you.
Thank you so much.